Welcome back to the Armchair Pundits podcast. This is the weekend review show, and we have Lamont, we've got Bevan, we've got Leon. How you fellas doing?
Fantastic, bro. Absolutely fantastic.
I've had better weekends. That's for sure.
How are you?
I'm alright. I was a bit frustrated, as you're aware, but content.
If I remember right,
Evan,
you called a
yourself?
draw. I'm sure you called a draw last week.
Yeah, I did.
Well,
I saw through all the fake news of no Saka and no Timber.
You didn't know
at that point, Calafiori wasn't injured.
You didn't know that
He
last
was
week.
genuine.
You said it before you knew last week. You said
Yes, I'm saying. But
Yeah.
they were both injured at that point, innit? Right?
Yeah,
Or was
yeah,
Timber was Timber playing?
no, he was injured.
Yeah, so
And
I kind of knew, but yeah. Before we get into it, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and to share. Thanks for the last few weeks, last month or so. Views are really climbing. Really appreciate your support and your comments as well. So once again, leave comments in this week as well, and let's keep this growing. So, without any further ado, this week we'll be focusing on Arsenal 2-2 versus Liverpool. Manchester United losing again versus West Ham. Spurs losing to Crystal Palace. And Man City winning 1-0 against Southampton. Against Southampton. So, without any further ado, I'll let you speak first, Bevan, since you're the home team.
Bro, you see man smiling, Colgate smile and all, everything, you know.
Do you know?
That is a guy that's happy with what's going on right now, isn't it?
You took too much pleasure in doing that rundown. I'm not going to lie. Way too much.
Things are roundabout, so it'll be my turn soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. What? So you want me to give my rundown of the game first?
Yeah, you're the home team, innit?
Yeah.
You're the home team, and it was said to be if Arsenal lose today, then they're out of the title race, which is a load of rubbish.
No, but
all the other stuff.
if Arsenal lost today, then it kind of shows you how the season is kind of pan out, really.
But I've got a stat for you. Every team, of the recent years, every team that has won the Premier League has been at least 7 points behind in some stage of the season. So you'd have been 7 points behind, but every team's won the league. I haven't been 7 points behind. And you've got like 30 games to go.
No, I get it. But I think it's like last season when you lot were playing, where you was looking good, but I didn't think he was going to win it last season.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's one of those games that if Arsenal lose, especially against Liverpool at the minute after losing last week, then it doesn't
work for your confidence.
It doesn't look good. I think it hurts the team confidence. In part, the game today is those cliche footballing terms where they say it's a game of two halves, and I think in the first half we were on top for after the first 20 minutes you might have been on top even though we scored first, but from 20 minutes onwards we were kind of controlling things, which kind of shocked me, and it looked like there were some good duels that were going on between Saka and Robertson, but I think Saka was getting the better of Robertson. There's a good duel between Martinelli and Trent. There's a good duel between Timber and Salah, and Thomas Partey was dealing with Diaz for large parts, really, and for the guy that wasn't right back, looked pretty good against him.
He had a good game.
Had a very good game. I think our first goal it was very different from how we usually play, with a long ball over the top to Saka, and he absolutely destroys Robertson. I think he needed help, and he buries it. But I think in the game, in that first half, Robertson was looking for help a lot from Saka. Your goal we concede from a corner, and it's funny because everyone expects Arsenal to be set piece FC, and I think Martinelli lets Diaz go. And then he steals a march on Havertz and flicks it to the back post. And you think when one of the shortest guys on the pitch gets like that, you think it's a bit poor defensively, but it's good from your side. But then our goal from that set piece was fantastic. But I think that you had warning signs from our one, because it was similar to Marino had a chance in the shortly before when from a similar free kick in a similar position, and he comes off the inside of his foot. But it's kind of, did you not see Cunha's goal where he's hit it from the inside of his foot and it's looped into the back corner? But this time, like, Marino's hit it from the inside of his foot and it's gone out. It's going
for throwing, I think.
Throwing or something like that. Completely different.
To be fair, it took a deflection as well, though. The Cunha one you're talking about, it took a deflection as well.
Yeah, it did. You're right.
But Mourinho's so embarrassed by it, he goes down and pretending that his shoulders hurt, which is just absolutely shocking. And then second half, it was your half in the second half, and we were it's like we kind of sat back. I think the injuries to Gabriel and then to Timber kind of changed the game a little bit for us, because then we're relying on a youngster in.
I think it was before Timber, to be fair, because Timber went off 76.
Yeah, but then it comes down his side in terms of when you get that goal. In terms of the goal, it comes from a pass that's Lewis Skelly's trying to pay to Martinelli. He gets cut out. Trent steps out and plays the pass into Nunez, which he tried before, which went horribly wrong. But this time he plays it to Nunez. Nunez picks out a good pass to Salah, and Salah puts it away. But then I think after that point, it's kind of, you're thinking that it's going to be played out for a 0-0. We did have a chance with Jesus, by saved by Kelleher. And then we have that moment where the ref gives a foul and
It's a foul.
I don't think it's a foul.
Bruv, he jumps into him and lands on him. It's a foul.
He jumps to head of the ball.
It's a foul, man.
My man backs into him, and then
bruv, we see that given every week, bro. Every week that gets given. I don't see it not given. I don't see that not given. I see that get given all the time.
Boy, I don't know. I'm a bit. I don't want to blame refs, but I don't trust
where I would say there was a bit funny is because he waits. Because my thing was, because Leon was watching me, I was like, I don't know why he waited. Because he goes to give the free kick. He puts his hand up, not straight to his mouth, but he puts it up. Then he looks to see what's going to happen. I don't know if he's looking to see whether we're going to get the ball and then whether we're going to attack, but then we don't. Then you get the ball and he's like, okay, cool, I better blow up. Because I was going to give a foul, and it is a foul, and I don't want anything to go wrong. So he blows up just as Havertz is about to get the ball, and it deads it. That was a bit weird. I think he should have just blown up straight away. Because then you wouldn't have this conversation. Because it would have blown up straight away, and then it wouldn't have been a case of, that wasn't a foul, we just scored a goal. Because as Leon even said in that game, that was a foul. Even Havertz fouled Trent just to get the ball in the goal anyway. Even if there wasn't a foul there, I think he fouled him as Trent was about to kick it off the line anyway. So even if that, we don't know what would have happened, but further down, I thought there was a foul there.
I don't know. In a game where the ref, he was letting a lot of stuff go in that game. I just think he's gone up for the header. My man's kind of backed up and bent over. Wow, that sounds crazy, isn't it?
If it was a VAR, then it'll be different, because it wasn't a case where if it's gone to VAR and they've called it a foul. The reason why I'm calm with that, he's given that's his decision. That's his decision. He said, okay, that's a foul. He's blown it. That's a foul. If it had been a case where there's a foul there, he plays on, you score the goal, and then they go back and say, oh, you know what? Check this. That's a foul. Then yeah, but he's made a decision on the spot. Yeah, given a foul.
Yeah, I know he's made a decision on the spot. I just don't agree with it. I just don't think that was the right decision to make. And that's not even just my team, because you'll see those throughout the season. Some of them will be given, some of them won't. And VAR will say, and then they'll come out and say, "Oh, it's 50-50."
Bro, don't mention their name in there. VAR.
I'm saying that, like, they can pick and choose in it. Like in the game, Diaz delays the play, and then they say, "Oh, yeah, well, they couldn't have taken a free kick quickly anyway, so it's not a yellow card."
But that's happened a lot this weekend, because what I've seen this weekend, it's been reversed. People were getting yellow cards for trying to take it too quickly and kicking into people and taking too quick. I watched what's his name, former Liverpool player Lallana, get a yellow card for kicking it into Foden a couple of times, and then in the Championship game, I think the Luton game, they took a quick free kick and referee gave them a yellow card because they thought they were trying to force it. So something's not going on.
So, yeah,
Something's going on that's weird.
It is weird because I'm in. I mean, I don't want to talk about my team, but I've seen similar things where they're saying, "Oh, Arsenal stopped to play for taking a quick free kick when a man's down on the pitch, on the floor, and he can't take a quick free kick, but that's delaying the game." But this is different, and now we're applying some kind of retrospective common sense, and it don't make sense to me. But
I guess it changes as the season goes on, I guess, innit? They learn from it, I guess.
Yeah. It just hasn't benefited my team yet.
Yeah.
I want to. That's what it is.
But on a Liverpool side of today's game, for me, first half I wasn't happy. We weren't good enough. We started off okay. Then when you scored, it gave you even more impetus. Fantastic goal. Nothing I could say. Robertson got finished. Didn't have a good first half at all. Does Van Dijk sell him short by not busting a gut? He never does anyway. But does he not sell him short by not trying harder to get there so he could potentially get a block in? We'll never know. But it was a good goal. Good set piece from us. But we were outnumbered so many times in midfield. Partey coming inside. It's almost like, I think one of my friends was saying that you guys put a box around Gravenberch, so he wasn't able to do what he's been doing for a lot of the season. And that didn't get fixed until the second half, because Trent was annoying the hell out of me because he was trying Hollywood, quick passes, this, that, and the other, and it was not coming off. And then when they tweaked his position, because I noticed when I was thinking about it more after the game was finished, he was playing a lot more in midfield. And then when I was listening to some of the stuff that Slaughter said, is that they moved him into midfield because we were overloaded. And I think that's what stopped your dominance. You dominated us because you had that full midfield. As soon as we switched that, it changed. Yes, Gabriel's injury has an effect because you lose your defensive leader. And I don't know, maybe your team decided, okay, you know what, we'll hold what we have. But I thought it was way too early for that. 53 minutes to hold what you have. A good defensive record you've got, fair enough. But the pressure finally told, and Trent finally got one of his Hollywood balls right, and it was a fantastic pass.
It was fantastic. Agreed.
And Nunes, who I thought had a good game, his instructions were quite weird because he was everywhere. Sometimes at left back, sometimes right back, sometimes it was heading it from the edge of our box. I'm thinking, you're supposed to be our furthest man forward. So he frustrated me in that regard, but the work he put in to make sure that you guys weren't outnumbered us in midfield, in retrospect, it was a good job. And he makes a run down that channel, lays off the ball to Salah, and Salah does what Salah does.
Yeah, good.
Unlucky for Skelly, he comes on and has kind of two mistakes there because he loses the ball, which then makes him out of position, and then we score from that area. But I wouldn't say, looking at the game, I wouldn't sit there and say, if we had lost the game, I wouldn't say we dropped points, so we deserved something out of the game. But for me, I think we earned a point today. And after getting no points at your ground last year and the year before, I'll take that. Like, when I go to Old Trafford, when I go to Emirates, when we go to Etihad, a draw or win, and you're in the title race for me. And we've taken 4 points from two of our three toughest grounds so far. So I really can't complain. We need to do better because what I did notice is 2 games in a row. Our 2 toughest games that we played, Chelsea and against you guys, midfield, we've lost control of that midfield because you guys have outnumbered us in there. And Slot needs to work that out. Because if that happens against City, I'm not sure we'll recover.
Just different beast. Quick question, James. In terms of midfield, who do you think is your best midfield three?
Yes, thank you. Because I was not happy with the start midfield. How are you going to... The one player we have, Szoboszlai, is done the most amount of running of anyone in our team. You go away to Arsenal, you go away to Everton, you go away to Man City, Man United, you have the person that does the most running in your team because that's needed. Then you have the most creative, which is McAllister. And then you have the best on the ball and good at breaking lines, which is Gravenberch. They're our best three. Yes, Jones was man in the match last week, but you can enjoy that man in the match and come on the pitch later on and then push that forward. But for us, to not have Szoboszlai starting a game, I thought that was an error. It was an error for me. And it showed. When he came on, it helped us a bit more as well. But yeah, to answer that question, those three, for me, these big games, they have to start. Yes, a lot of fans are upset because Szoboszlai, his output isn't great, but there's two sides to the game. And his defensive side to the game is fantastic. And in these games, you need that.
My question, yeah? Let me ask you a question, just both of you. Your number 9s, yeah? Obviously, Havertz is your number 9, Bev.
Yeah.
But you've got Gabriel Jesus that's kind of trying to make a name for himself, or is he just happy to be in squad rotation? And the question to James, I'm going to come back to you, Bev, and the question to James, Darren Núñez, like, I think he's a decent player, quality work rate rise and quality on the ball. But why does he not get in? Why are they not starting? Like,
Because he's not as good as
both.
Jota. Quite simply, Jota's a better finisher than he is. Jota gets into better areas, and Jota runs the channels better than he does. And in terms of dropping deep, Jota's link-up play isn't fantastic, but it's still better than Núñez's.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Núñez is getting better, but if someone's through on goal, and I'm looking at Jota or Núñez, Jota all day. If the ball's bouncing in the box, and I'm thinking who's going to get on it, it's going to be Jota.
I think today was proof, right? Because we've been saying that Liverpool have changed the way they play this season. They're playing a much more controlled style of football. But today, I didn't feel like they had control of the game. I thought Arsenal had much better control of the game for large periods. And it was only when Arsenal went 2-1 up and they lost Gabriel in defence that Arsenal kind of retreated a little bit more, because I don't think they had the same confidence knowing that they were missing basically their two best central defenders and were having to use makeshift players in those positions. It seemed like Núñez, apart from the goal, he didn't offer anything. He didn't hold up the ball. He didn't bring other teammates into the play. So I think obviously I've jumped in asking the question for James, but Núñez is not good enough considering the physical attributes that he has. I don't think he's good enough at imposing his physical stature and being able to use that to then bring other teammates into the game. And I think that's the one thing they miss since Firmino's gone.
Yeah.
Having said that, I don't think he played poorly today. He put in a good shift.
Yeah, he was decent. To
what
answer
about
your question,
you, Bev? Yeah.
I think Havertz is he's a handful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's
he's
why
a nuisance, absolute nuisance.
That's why he plays, because he's going to give the defenders a horrible time, and sometimes he's going to drop into midfield. Sometimes he's going to drop right. He's going to allow the other players to rotate, and I think that's why he starts over Jesus. And he, as he's proved in the last, he's got a goal in him when he needs to be when he needs a goal. So that's why they play Havertz. Dude's a unit, man. I can't really fault him. Sometimes he don't look as good in midfield. Huh?
I weren't convinced in the beginning, to be honest with you. I was very like, he looks a bit clunky. Looks like he's not ready, but I think he's grown into, the position that Arteta wants him to. Massively grown into it. He knows exactly where he's at.
Yeah,
you know his confidence is up.
You know what you're going to get from Havertz when he plays up front. Sometimes he might have ugly games, but you know that he can either hold up the ball, he can link up play, and he can get a goal when he needs to.
And he scores.
Yeah.
So the question is, what's happening with Gabriel then? Jesus, what's the crack with him? Because you get rid of Nketiah, and out of Gabriel Jesus and Nketiah, I'd probably keep Nketiah because he's got the hunger. I don't know why No, you don't think so?
No.
Jesus is a better player. He's a much better player.
way
But
better.
I don't know, though,
I think
man.
I think he is. I think it's his own self-doubt that causes him the most problems. Because you've seen Gabriel Jesus when he's on form, he's an absolute problem. But since he's gone to Arsenal, he's had injury problems. He hasn't had a consistent running team following those injury problems. And yeah, I think the way that Arsenal play, they can't really have Gabriel Jesus as that central figure, that central striker. So that's why
he's
he
not a
kind of
target
comes on and
Yeah,
exactly he's not.
Doesn't do enough. He doesn't stay in the box enough. He wants to do all his work outside of the box.
Yeah.
And they tried it. Let's not get twisted. They tried it, and it had a good spell. But when you got Havertz doing the job, then you can't really go to Jesus because he's not. So he comes on, does his minutes. Honestly, this is Mini Bevan's question, but for me, he comes on, does his minutes, and he's got to be support striker, be number 2
for now. Unless he's going to have to come on and start scoring goals. That's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to affect the game and change it. Until he does that, he's going to be Havertz, and he can't. And he's not going to out Saka on the left, and on the right. On the right and on the left. I don't know. There could be an argument between him, Jesus, and Martinelli, but sometimes those other two sometimes come up clutch in certain moments. So, and Jesus hasn't done that. He's a good footballer, but his finishing hasn't really been there in some games.
Okay, well, neither of us are upset with that result, so I guess it's a good weekend and roll on to Anfield. I guess see who comes out on top. But we move on because there was an interesting game, one that I thought Man United would win personally.
So did I. I think so did everyone else, to be fair. I definitely thought that we would win after the first, 15 minutes when we were peppering their goal almost. I don't know. I've come away from that game just, completely deflated after last week's performance. And I thought, okay, when we use that as a little bit of a springboard, and just kind of kick on and maybe get a good couple games under our belt and, get some needed points. And, 90 minutes at the London Stadium, and we're 14th in the Premier League after 9 games. Won 1 game in 8. It just goes...
1 in 8?
I think it's 1 in 8 or something like that.
Wow.
1 game. It's horrible at the minute, bro. It's honestly, it really, really isn't great to experience, to be honest with you. In our last 8, should I say. But yeah, outside of that, I don't know.
Wait, hold on. So one second. Sorry, I don't. So are you trying to tell me that apart from Brentford, who's the last team you beat before Brentford in the league? It went Fulham. It can't be Fulham.
It's the first game of the season that Man United won. It wasn't it?
It's Fulham.
And it's just been draws and the like, bro. And then obviously Brentford last week, which was a bit. Do you know what I mean? And even when I'm saying it, you guys are checking like, no, he's wrong. He has to be.
No, Fulham, Southampton. You beat Fulham and Southampton.
Beat Southampton. Yeah. It can't be just Fulham.
And then you beat Barcelona. No, sorry, Barnsley. Beat Barnsley 7-0.
No, but we're talking in our last 8 games.
Last 8.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, you're right. You won one. You're right. You're right.
Matt said Barcelona instead of Barnsley. Yeah. That was not a mistake.
I wish. But anyway, more to the fact, obviously, I keep on touching on this every pod
you're right.
when I'm talking about United, and it's along the lines of the goals. We are lacking goals. We've got an assistant manager in Vinicius that you'd like to think that, him coming into the frame would probably give the guys a bit more confidence and guidance in terms of what they need to be done. Look, I saw Højlund last week. He looked sharp as ever. I thought to myself, all right, he's looking more like a player. And I said to you guys, I weren't too keen on him just because he doesn't look like the finished article. He looks like he needs a couple of, senior guys around him that are really doing what they're meant to be doing in the striker position for him to actually look at them and say, you know what, that's what I'm trying to be. Or someone to compete with him. Xerxes isn't that guy that he's going to be competing with. He isn't looking at him as any kind of competition. But yeah, you're looking at the game today. First 15 minutes, Garnacho has a couple of shots on target, on goal. One's off target, one his cracks off the post, and you just think, this is going to be a long day for West Ham because you're thinking, we're going to get a goal and that's it. The floodgates are going to open. Well, it would be nice if we actually got a goal, like if we knew where the back of the net was. I mean, Dalot missed an absolute sitter.
Yeah, that's the worst I've seen this season. And Fernandes' header, right?
Yeah, but even the Fernandes header, he should have done way better than that for the man of his quality, yeah? He had no pressure. He had the whole goal to choose. And I think he was almost expecting to be challenged. So it was one of the ones when he was in acres, he just put it over the bar, which is unforgivable, obviously, when the score ends at 2-1.
Yeah, but
the Dalot miss.
Go back to Dalot one.
The Dalot miss, horrible. Dalot miss was horrible. You got to look at yourself and just say, and I think I'll say it to you guys off camera. Last season, he was probably our most consistent player, overall. I think every United fan would look at it and say, Dalot, he really put on some real good performances last season and quite stand out. I'm still looking for that same player this season for consistency, just to look at and say, right, this is what I could look at in my squad for, a consistent run of performances. So people can get galvanized and be like, you know what, all right, let's raise the game. Not even him. What's that, 10 yards out or whatever it was, and he puts it in row Z. Not even hits the crossbar or nothing. It's infuriating.
Hold on, one second, girl. I hear what you're saying, but like, you want consistency, but when you're looking from your left back, you're in problems, bro. Like,
I hear you.
You're solid, but like,
but it's got to start somewhere, though, B. It's got to start somewhere. Someone in the team has to kind of really look at themselves in the mirror and say, this isn't good enough. I think I also said to you guys off camera slightly as well. I said, everyone's blaming the manager. For me personally, the team that he started out with wasn't a bad team. And that was telling in the first 20 minutes. We should have been 2-3-0 up, at least. And then the second half comes. You can see the West Ham managers, what's his name? Lopetegui?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's made 3 subs straight off the bat because he could see that what he was doing in the first 45 wasn't good enough. Why can't we react like that? Why can't we see that the guys are not... all right, so we weren't doing badly, so maybe that's the reason why he didn't make the changes. But when West Ham have come and made changes like that, you already know they're going to come in with a bit of gusto. So we need to react sometimes. We need to react to that and actually jump on almost the same bandwagon and say, right, they made changes. We're going to need to make changes. Otherwise, we might go behind. And then, so say it, so shall it be done. They made their changes and pretty much, we were just left holding the bag. And, there was points in the game where I thought, this isn't going to end up in a draw. Draw what? Draw what? So you're going to tell me, right, a man that's not got control of the ball can draw a foul and get a penalty? Are you all right? Can I get a show of hands in here? I need someone out there to tell me that what I saw today was a penalty. And be honest. Don't just try to draw me out. Just be honest. You said, you're saying to me, Danny Ings was running into the box, didn't have the ball under any control, and he got a penalty because De Ligt fouled him. Yeah? Everyone's agreed that was a penalty.
I don't believe it was a pen. It was very soft. If there is any contact, it's minimal.
There was contact. There's contact. It's a very soft pen.
It's very soft.
Hey, the only contact that guy got was with his hand. Ings touched the ball with his hand first. Yeah? De Ligt got the ball.
No,
what?
He didn't touch the ball with his hand first. The contact came before the handball.
So you saw the handball then?
I saw the handball, but if the foul was before the handball, they can't give the handball.
But there was no foul. But there was no foul.
Do you know what makes it soft?
Do you know what makes it soft? Give it. It was no foul.
There was contact. There was contact though.
You know what makes it?
But it's not enough contact. For me, it's not enough contact.
You know what makes it bad?
Let me ask you another question.
Wait, hold on one second. You know what makes it bad? For me, what makes it bad? What makes it bad, is that it's VAR has said to the referee, go back and look at it, and the referee's gone back and looked at it. And
you're gonna.
I thought that VR was to overturn decisions that the referee has missed, or was it a clear and obvious error?
Clear and obvious error.
I'd say
There was nothing clear.
this is one of those
You
situations.
signed your own warrants when you got rid of Alex Ferguson, bro. When you got rid of Alex Ferguson, you took off the payroll. That's it, bro. The refs are like, hallelujah.
So you know what?
Free
Yeah,
reign.
there's a couple of things that got wrong with this. You know, first of all, the referee on the pitch, he doesn't call a foul because it wasn't one. Yeah, he gets a notification from Stockley Park or wherever they are to come and have a look at the big screen. Who's operating the big screen? Mr. Oliver himself. He's in there twisting up everything, looking at camera angles and all the rest of it. And then the referee goes over and doesn't have the confidence to override VAR and say, still no penalty, on-field decision stands. Like, I don't know the last time a referee has gone to look at the screen and still stuck by his own decision.
Last week.
Who?
Man City.
Man City game.
Man City game.
Forget the Man City game then. When it actually benefited United. When it actually benefited us.
Bruv,
No.
you've had your whole life of things benefiting United, bruv.
Nah, it was just frustrating to watch.
My whole
Jay.
childhood was Man United
Jay,
winning things they should have.
Yeah, I mean, look, in all honesty, my last point on it, I'm not going to use VAR as an excuse. Yeah, it definitely was a poor decision. I don't believe we deserved to lose, but we didn't do good enough, like as in finishing wise, to win that game. I feel like, you know, if we'd have won that game 2-1, it still would have been embarrassing because it's like you guys were peppering the goal. You should do better than that. So I don't know, man. It's unneeded pressure on Ten Hag, yeah, in my opinion. In this current time, we need to focus on getting a run of games, build the confidence in the squad, galvanise and just go again. We've now got Chelsea next week, and that Bagsman scored again yesterday. So it's like,
today.
Well, this weekend, yeah.
Today.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah.
So
next week's going to be.
How do you feel? How do you feel about it? So really, it's a case of it's a game of two halves, same as our game today. Yeah. You didn't finish your dinner, and they did. But so I was talking to my brother during the game, and he said they're going to bring on Somerville, they're going to bring on Soucek, and then the game's going to change. But in terms of their first goal, how did you feel about it? Because really, it's a scuff shot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a scuff shot.
Yeah.
It's one of them, Bev. Like when you're when the ball's bouncing around like that, you want someone to clear the lines, obviously, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes a scuff shot is harder to do something about than anything else.
Yeah,
just because it's
you're not expecting it.
Yeah, it's an unorthodox way of the movement of the ball. It's like you can't really anticipate it like that. So
it's one of the ones. Didn't come out second half. I'm looking at the stats here. First half, West Ham, one shot, 0.04 expected goals. You guys had 8 shots, 2 on target, 1.72 expected goals. Second half, they've jumped to 2.97 expected goals. You've dropped to 0.62. You had 10 shots, 3 on target. They had 11 shots, 3 on target. So you were just no threat second half.
Yeah, they upped their intensity.
I don't know what happened. But
I could tell you what happened.
You just were not a threat.
I could tell you what happened. That is a direct result of the manager going in at half time and saying to him, that first 45 was not good enough. You guys are better than this. I'm making 3 changes right now. Everyone needs to look at themselves before they touch that pitch. And that is how you talk to a team that's underperforming the way they were in the first 45 minutes. Because we should have literally dispatched them with the kind of how we were playing.
I don't think you need to make changes like that. I think you got to tell them to go again, innit? But then, but you do though, because you were on top of them. Really, you had some good chances. You just didn't put them in the back of the onion bag. And if you're going to make the changes, the only changes you're going to have to make is that you know that he's going to bring on Soucek and he's going to make the midfield a bit tougher, and he's going to bring on Somerville to as an attacking threat. So once he makes those changes, then you've got to adapt tactically to make things better, difficult for them. I don't think you need to necessarily make changes to do that. as such.
I mean, no, what I was saying, Bev, I was saying the West Ham manager, Lopetegui, he spoke to the West Ham players to get them to come out
Okay,
in a different minds. Yeah, so he made the change. He had to make the changes to get that result.
You guys didn't respond.
We didn't respond. And realistically, we needed to because of the kind of changes that he made. You got Soucek, he's quite strong and he's going to be beating the likes of Casemiro and Ericsson in the air. And, he's probably a lot more physical than them as well. So when you look at those challenges as a manager, you need to maybe look at your bench. I mean, we didn't have a lot on the bench today, to be honest. But you need to make some kind of tactical change that's going to benefit the way that your opponent has now decided the direction he's going in, And we don't think we weren't decisive enough in them moments. And again, in front of goal, not decisive again. I feel like this is going to be a reoccurring thing for me in this next season, if things don't change rapidly, just constantly talking about the lack of goals. But yeah,
long may it continue.
Cool. Yeah, long may it continue. So but no, time will tell. Time will tell because it's got to change at some point. You've got good enough players. It's got to click at some point, or he's going to be gone anyway. It's one or the other.
Agreed.
But we'll move on to Leon. I know you got a lot to say.
I don't.
Well, we're not
I
having
can't copy Bevan. I can't copy Bevan, so I can't copy what Bevan did last week. But it was just another one of those typical gutless Tottenham performances, man. When we play away from home and teams put us on a little bit of pressure, just seems like just fold. Like Crystal Palace deserved to win today. Their goal came from a mistake by Tottenham trying to play out the back, but being casual about it.
That was horrid.
I don't understand. I don't understand why Tottenham feel like they can go into games and just be so lackadaisical. Between Romero, the keeper, and Van der Ven, Van der Ven, people sung his praises a lot over the last year since he's been there, but today, and in some other away games, there's times where he just looks a little bit
average,
lackadaisical.
Yeah,
there's times where he also knows that he's quick, but it's like he's going up rather than anticipating things, he's reacting to everything. So there's times where he's relying on pace because he knows he can get back, but he should be able to see danger earlier. And today was a prime example of how teams can put pressure on our back line and just not give us the time and space to be able to play football. And I just felt like at no point in that game were we going to win. I just knew we were going to struggle against Palace today. And fair play to them. I mean, Palace have probably deserved better in some of the games they played this season. But today it was a 1-0 victory, but it could have easily have been more. We didn't really create anything. I didn't feel like Ange Postecoglou learned about playing Maddison and Kulusevski in midfield. How many times have I said it to you guys on this pod? We can't play them both in the midfield. It's too flimsy. Maddison can't run. Kulusevski isn't defensively aware enough for him to be playing in there as well. So to me, it just seemed like we didn't look at what's happened in previous games. He's changed it and it's worked. But today it was way too late and he persisted with it. And I don't understand why we even started that way, especially away from home. We cannot afford to be playing two players who like to play a free role. It just doesn't make sense. So I just knew it was going to be a problem from the get-go. We gave Mikey Moore his debut at left wing, and they gave him the welcome to the Premier League treatment. He had nothing because they gave him nothing. They marked him tightly, didn't give him any space. And when you're playing up against Munoz, is it Munoz?
Yeah.
Munoz, and they've literally got Chalobah, Lacroix, and Gehi at the back. You got no change out of them. So it was just one of them. It was one of them games where you just knew Tottenham weren't going to bring nothing to the table, and they really didn't. And it just shows you that nothing's changed. Like whether it's getting a Mourinho, whether it's getting a Conte, whether it's what's his name, Nuno Espirito Santo, and over now we've gone for this attacking, attractive style of football manager, and it's the same problems. Nothing changes with Tottenham, man. Like, this would have happened regardless of who is in charge. And I don't know what it is, man. It's a curse. It's a hex. Someone's done something, boy, because it ain't changing. And I don't know what. I can't even tell you what needs to change, because it doesn't matter what players we bring in there. The same things happening. The same things happen. So, long way to go.
Lee, like, for me, looking at that game, I don't know why, after the way you guys played last week and the changes he made and how the game changed, why he would not start with that team.
Exactly.
There was a distinctive difference in intensity and just your ball retention when you changed it at half-time last week, yeah?
Maybe he's scared to drop Madison?
This is what I was about to say. Maybe it was one of them ones where he got... no, don't be sorry. No, maybe it's one of them ones where he got it in the neck for taking, Madison out at 45 minutes. So maybe that was part of the reason. But I still feel like, you need to be brave enough to make them decisions. I lie.
No, but he it's twice now that he's had to make the change and bring on Sarr to add a little bit of more steel into the midfield and a bit more legs. And he doesn't think, we're playing away at Palace, who have runners all day. That's one thing they do have, is runners. Why wouldn't you play that now? I don't understand. So I don't get it. For me, it didn't make sense. When you're at home, you're playing against the Ipswich. With all due respect, if you're playing at Ipswich or Southampton at home, I can understand the thought process behind it.
Telling them to. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'll be honest, right? These guys are not Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, and De Bruyne. They're not that level. Like, those guys have defensive awareness. Those guys will put a foot in. Those guys will run all day if they need to. But those guys are not. Madison's never been known for doing his defensive work, and he doesn't have the legs. When we lose possession today, it was Basuma against their midfield, and it's just
against everyone. Yeah, everyone. I can see that. And the thing about it is, he made 3 changes. He took Kulusevski and Madison off at the same time. I was like, I know the Spurs fans are going to be going bananas on this one, because there's no way you go from asking him just to be a little bit more balanced in the midfield.
Bro, it's like 0 to 100 or 100 to 0, bro. It's like, you can't win, man. But yeah, we didn't. The players were poor. Like, as much as the manager, he's got a job to do, put out the right team. The players didn't do anything, and I think Vicario was saying there was no fight. Like, that's been Tottenham in certain games, man. Certain games we don't fight. We don't show that we're willing to dig our heels in. And Conte said it from time, man. These guys don't know about wanting to play under pressure and needing to just handle the situation. They're just not used to it. Don't get it, man.
Do you think it would have been better starting Madison on the left instead of Mikey Moore, and then having Sarr in midfield?
Bro, Madison on the left, bro. He can't beat no one for pace, bro. He can't play on the left.
No, but wasn't he kind of playing on the left? Actually, no, he's playing at 10. I was thinking at Leicester.
He's playing at 10 at Leicester, bro.
Yeah, all right.
Leicester had wingers for days, so he was playing as a 10.
Yeah, but they say that fake. I'm not really a winger. I'm really a 10, but I'm going to play out wide. And then...
What, like Grealish for, I don't know, England, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
and Eze does it as well.
Eze does it, but again, even today,
got more quality.
he moved inside today.
Yeah, I think Eze's got more quality than Madison, though, to be honest.
I just think we're forcing it. Like, it's play one or the other. Like, if Kulusevski's been on form and Madison hasn't, so to me, you play Kulu right now, because until Kulu is off form, then you can put in Madison or bring him on to change the game at some point. Do you know what I mean? But don't start with both of them. It don't work. I don't know why he's persistent with it, especially away from home. It makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense.
He's Odegaard back, because I saw him play midweek. So I thought
he's coming back from injury, but it's a bit early. Yeah, it's a bit early. I don't think he was rushed back, but I think it was just they gave him like 10 minutes the other night, and
okay.
I think they were trying Mikey, but Mikey Moore had a really good game in the midweek. Like he really shone, but I think it was more. They didn't do their scouting report because they gave him way too much space and respect. Whereas today, Palace were like, "Nah, kid, we're going to show you what Premier League's about, and they did. He had nothing. He had got no change out of no one today. It's one of them things, man. He looks like a talent, but yeah, man. I mean, it was going to be him or Werner. Right now,
Werner's not the one right now, boy.
Yeah, he don't know.
It's annoying, I guess, because you got Man City next up. Oh no, that's the thing.
We got City in the cup in a week.
Yeah,
which Pepper's already gone. We don't care about this trophy, but watch him play a combination of wonder kids and experience, and still win.
You beat them in this cup last year, didn't you?
No.
Oh, did you lose?
We lost to them in the FA Cup. We got knocked out early in the League Cup last year.
Fulham.
Fulham. Early doors.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. I just have zero expectations. I'll go into the match 90 minutes and just hope that we win and then just pull it to bed, bro, because that's all I can do. Otherwise, I'll just lose my mind.
Well, all right, we'll move on to the last game. The new team that are top of the table, and we're now wondering whether they'll get removed from that position. Man City, only 1-0 to Southampton. Was it? How did you guys see that? Only winning 1-0 Southampton. A lot of teams have really put a score on.
I think Southampton played really well, and I think City players praised them because they were brave. They made it difficult for Man City in the game, but they also tried to play for their football, which a lot of teams that's come up from the Championship have been criticised for. And I guess if you are trying to do the same thing over and over and it's not working, that's why you get criticised for it. I mean, Pep said no excuses. They played well. I'm not going to use European matches as an excuse. Like, if the opposing manager can give you credit, because we've seen Pep moan about people parking the bus and saying they've made it difficult for us, but they made it difficult in another way, and they tried to play football and they tried to be clever about it. But it's Man City, man. They still had enough chances to put the game to bed.
22.
But there you go. So it wasn't like they just didn't have their shooting boots on at the same time as Southampton did well because it was only 1-0 and their goalkeeper had obviously made a few saves, but it's City, man. Like, we can't expect to get bonus points of Haaland as captain every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, Southampton look good for it as well. They look like they might put up a real fight to the point where they could peg them back a little bit, but. If you're not clinical when you play City, man, they will make you pay.
They've got no goal scorers, man. That's the problem.
What's frightening at the minute is that City are not playing well. They haven't lost. And they're just grinding out results.
And still no KDB.
Just waiting for it to come back.
Yeah, like...
So they're waiting for it to come back.
And Rodri.
And no, Rodri's out.
Rodri's out. He's for the season, though. He's done for the season.
Oh, yeah. They'll buy someone in Jan. Watch.
Yeah, if they're playing like this right now, without losing... Like we'll see what happens. Have you got them soon, James? Liverpool got them soon.
December, I believe.
Well,
but we still got a few games before we play them. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where we sit at that point, because it's never fun playing Man City. That's for sure.
It is a weird one with City because most other teams playing this ugly so early on in the season, you think, there's only so long you can do it for. But with City, it's almost like they get a grace where you think, they're playing ugly, but when they start to kick it into gear, then it can be a problem.
But you know the term you're using right now is Man City's version of ugly, right? Because for most teams, that's still attractive football, bro. This is Man City's version of ugly, not anyone else's.
I still think we're in that mode, if I'm honest. I don't think we've played fantastically well yet this season. But we've ground out the results, so I'm hoping that we're doing a City as well, and we're picking up the results here and there, and we're gonna then improve as the season goes on.
It's very rare that the title winners start off the season like a house on fire and just be destroying everyone. It happens very, very rarely.
We did it when we won the league. We did that. We just ripped everyone apart and didn't lose a game until like March or something crazy like that. But now, Haaland gets
another goal.
Yeah, I can see him breaking his own record again this season. If I'm honest, 11 goals in 9 games.
Is that what you have
So-
now? The game's
Yeah.
caught up with him finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
It was like 11. It was like 10-6 or 10-5. It was dumb. 3
The thing
hat
about it
tricks
is
or 2 hat tricks.
they are giving him the ball a lot more, and he's looking a lot more clinical, bruv, with both feet. He's scary, guy. I'm telling you,
Their goal was nice, innit?
Mm.
That
mate.
goal.
Yeah.
Well, the one
Was
in
it,
the
was
week.
it this
Is-
goal?
is- no,
I
it was
can't
in-
remember this
is-
goal.
it
Was
was
the Champions
in
League
the
goal?
Champions
The
League.
Champions League
Oh,
goal you're
that
talking
was
about.
Champions League one. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That was nice. That was a nice goal.
But
When you see
even
it in
still-
slow
Nice goal.
motion and you see the movement, you know, it's like decision
Yeah.
making again, innit? When we watch our teams play and we see certain guys in certain positions, and you're like, just play the right ball, and they
Ball.
just don't. They just don't. They just never do. But
Well, they've got another injury. Doku's out for a little while as well now. So Nunes finally got to play. The problem is, as good as Nunes is, if they get him, that's even more problems for Liverpool, for the league in general, because he hasn't done anything at Man City, but the talent is there, and
This is
maybe
it.
this is his time to get the minutes.
This is why
Because-
Pep is so clever, though, Jay. This is why he's clever, because he's waiting for these moments. He knows someone's going to get injured, and he's thinking, this guy he's begging to get a game. He brought him on in the week, I think it was.
He's got
and
an assist.
do you get what I'm saying? And now he's in because Doku's injured. He's going to relish it, bro. He's going to relish it. Look at all the quality he's got around him. He can't drop the ball now. If he drops the ball, he knows he's finished. So he has to raise his game now. Has to. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
scary.
Well, that's it for this week, guys. On to a better week, hopefully, for each of us to get wins. Are we going to ever get that full house of victories?
Well, no, mate.
bro, it's gonna run in theme, you know. We have to start the count of how many weeks it is, bro. Because boy,
Yeah,
someone is suffering pain every week, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, for real.
For real.
Okay. So, thanks, guys. And thank you guys for watching. Do leave a comment. And if you have any questions you want to ask us, leave us a question in the comments and we'll answer it for you next week. You can choose someone to answer it if you want to, or anyone to answer it. So yeah, leave a question in there and then we'll answer it at the beginning of the next show. Thanks for watching again. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.
Peace.
Later.